Hello, my name is Jesper Carstensen of Dimension Software, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to create documents in EDIView for TaskCentre. In this session, we're going to create some document structure and some static data, and then in subsequent sessions, we will add some dynamic data to the document. First of all, we are going to look at this sort of description of a D96A. It's a standard UN standard EI format, and this describes one of the segments. A segment is like this: a line of data, a bit of data, starting with a segment header, and then with some elements and sub-elements in it. In this case, the elements are these separated by pluses, and the sub-elements are separated by colons. That's all stuff you can read in the manual for the document you're going to implement. Inside of TaskCentre, we have created I've created a new task, and I taken in an import EDI file tool, and now I'm going to look at the interchange inside of that and see how things are being set up. In the header in the interchange, you set up all these code separators, element separators, stuff like that. Taken out of the manual, just enter it here, and the EDIView for TaskCentre will handle it for you. Then you will create a group called file header in this case, and you will create inside of that you will create a message called file header, and inside of that you will start creating your segments. Click New to get a new segment. The segment code that's actually been written into the file. It was UNH, sorry, and it's called. It's also called a message header. So I'll just put message header. It's always a good thing to use the same words as they use in the manual, because it makes it much easier to get back and reference the manual. I'll put this as sequence ID 1 because it's the first. And inside this segment, I will create some elements. And again, I'll use the naming from the document here, 0062. That's the name of the first element. 0062, or rather, it's the code of the first element, and the name is message reference number. So you can see I just take data out of the manual and put it into the EDIView. This is going to be the first element, so I put the sequence ID as 1. This is going to be some dynamic data, so we'll just leave that for now and go on to the next element, which is this one, S0009. Oops, sorry. Like this. So it was S0009. This was the name of it, and this is going to be the second element, so we'll set the sequence ID to 2, and this has got sub-elements where we put the data in. As you can see, it's got 5 sub-elements. The first one is called 0065, and it's got this name, so we create a sub-element, say, call it 0065, and the name was there. Sequence ID 1, since this is the first one, and we need some data inside of that, and the data that goes in there is this text. This is a French implementation of D96A. That's the reason why the text is in French. You will see things like that. So that's the static value that goes into this sub-element. Sorry. And the next sub-element is called 0052, and it's actually called command. So we'll call it that. We'll stick with that. We'll create a new one here. Call it 0052 command. There you go. And this is number 2. And the static value in there is a D for draft. So we'll enter in here a static value of D. Of D. There we go. And you can fill in all these value examples and stuff like that. That's always a good thing to do. I'm not going to do it today because it's going to take me too long time when I'm just going to show it. But it's a good idea to do that, fill in those examples, because it makes it's a good documentation. So next supplement, it's called, let's see, 0054, and it's this one. So we'll say it's 0054. This is the name, and this is the third sub-element inside of this element. And it's also static, and the data inside there is 96A. It is 96A, so that's a static value as well. This is the way it works, and you just keep filling in elements, sub-elements, and that's the way you build the structure. And once, of course, you've built the structure of D96A once, then you can reuse a lot of it by exporting it and importing it in a new interchange, and then just changing the bits and pieces that needs changing. Because, believe you me, there's always something that you need to change from one implementation to the next. Okay, that's what I'm going to show you today about building documents inside EDIView for TaskCentre. Thank you for watching, and welcome back.